Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode at the Warehouse Underground podcast series. This one's episode number 17, a little bit different. We're doing a little bit of a spotlight on startup in this episode. So I think it'll be very cool. So I'm Ben, I'm the host of the show. And with me on the show today, very cool guest that I'm really excited about having on. Her name is Spurthi Venkatesh Prasad, and she is the co-founder of a very cool new company called HudQu, which is bridging non-tech jobs and talent one scroll at a time. So with a tagline like that, I think it's a pretty good hint at what they do. So I don't want to steal too much of her thunder. I want to let her tell you what they do. But I'll just say in the warehousing world, which is where I play, in the distribution center world, staffing is big. It's a big part of it. But how companies and clients go about doing that is always changing. It's not like the old days where there was just wanted ads in the newspaper. No, it's very different now, very high tech. And I'm excited that there are some different options and different slants on that, like HudQu, that are coming on the scene. So very excited about having her on the show. It's a cool new thing, cool new company, and I'm anxious to learn more about it. Right. So with that, I will go ahead and bring her onto the stage. Spurti, hi, how are you? Welcome to the Warehouse Underground podcast. Thank you. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ben, for giving me this opportunity. This is my first ever podcast, so I'm super excited. And
Oh.
it being in the supply chain industry is making me go crazy. And
You
I
got,
also would like to give a special shout out to Nathan Cheney for connecting us.
yeah,
Yeah, excited to be here.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you're not alone when you say that you're going crazy out there working in the supply chain. I know that there are many others. And so, and plus you're running a startup, so it's doubly taxing. So congrats on having all your hair. You haven't pulled all of your hair out yet. So that's a very good thing. All right. So Spurti, before we get too deep into all the solutions that HudQu provides and all the benefit that it can bring different people out there, can you just talk a little bit about your background, kind of the history of HudQu and what it's all about?
Sure. So I've been in supply chain industry for over 8+ years now. I've worn many hats like in the inventory manager, logistics manager, marketing manager, and supply chain manager. So last year when I started to look for a job, I had applied for over 400 plus applications. So at that time, I faced a lot of instant rejections, ghosting, and even got to know that some of the jobs weren't even real. And I went till the end of some of the interviewing rounds and got rejected, and they said that the skills didn't match. So honestly, it was really exhausting and frustrating. So one day during our evening walk with my husband is when I asked him a question saying, why can't job search be as easy as scrolling through a reel? So that's when HudQu's
Good question.
idea was sparked.
Yeah.
And so if you're wondering what HudQu means to search in my southern Indian language called Kannada. And imagine if LinkedIn and TikTok had a baby, but way popular. Yeah, so it's a Bay Area based short form video job search platform where where businesses it's targeting these industries like warehousing,
Yep.
transportation, cafes, salons, and more. So the
Yep.
traditional way is where employers have to upload a lengthy job description, but the candidates have to upload a lot of these resumes and cover letters. But with HudQu, You just have the employers have to just upload a short job card, and the candidates have to showcase their skills through a short video instead of a resume. Um,
Yeah, I see.
and yes,
Well,
and
so
yeah,
let me ask this question though before, sorry for cutting you off, but you mentioned like I feel like this applies to everything, right? I mean,
yes,
obviously this is a warehousing and distribution podcast and
yeah,
that's true. That's the market, but you're casting a big net. I mean, this
yeah,
is basically anyone that's out there looking for a job and any company that's looking to hire can use this. That's awesome. I mean, that's very cool.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So let me ask this question. So um, how did you like I know you have many different types of clientele that you're trying to find, like what we just talked about. It could be cafes or shops or even warehouses, but in in the warehousing world, where I come from, temp agencies are kind of what rule the day. I mean, temp agencies are the big thing that warehouses use. It's very prominent. Everybody goes through them. And so are you kind of trying to be a direct competitor to temp agencies, or are you just kind of trying to go about things a different way and offer a different alternative solution for the candidates and the companies?
We are not direct competitors to the temp agencies, but we want to work with them. I agree that temp agencies, they provide important, they handle important stuff like the uh, health coverage and the legal
Yep.
risks. But HudQu is more of a matchmaking platform for businesses and temp agencies to fill the jobs, fill and hire faster in a
Yep.
modern and a scrollable way. And we are not disrupting anything here. We want the businesses and the temp agencies to upgrade to a modern way, which is the HudQu way,
Mhm.
to hire and to job hunt together.
Yeah. So and we talked about this before. We actually had a call a couple weeks ago, and I told you the thing about the temp agencies that is always something that warehouse managers out there don't love, and that is they have to pay the temp agencies a surcharge
Yeah,
on top of whatever the hourly rate is that they're paying the employee. So
yeah,
yes, like you said, the benefit is that the temp agencies handle a lot of the health, and if there are safety incidents or they have to go to the hospital or something like that, that's true.
yeah.
But the warehouses also don't like having to pay that surcharge, particularly on the overtime rate, because it's the same thing. So if there's alternatives out there where you don't have to do that and you get to the same state, I think that that is something that definitely a lot of warehouse leaders out there would be very curious about, finding them and not having to bring that in. So, but you've got, and like mentioned before, like you've got two sides of this coin, if you will, and both sides are kind of needed to tango, if you will, to use a bad dance to use a
Yeah.
bad dance. I'm thinking back to, like, my 8th grade dance days where it's boys on this side and girls on this side, but you need that because you have the companies and then you have the potential candidates. So how do you go about doing that? I mean, how do you go about getting both sides together on the dance floor to really start to work? Because you can't really have one without the other, and then when you get a lot of one, I think it would help to get a lot of the other. Is that true? I mean, how are you going about doing that?
That's really a great question because they're totally dependent to each other, and
Yeah.
it's a challenge in every two-sided marketplace marketplace faces, right? So we are trying to dissolve the friction by building trust and momentum on both sides. So on the employer side, we are zeroing in on no, sorry, we are directly reaching out to the local businesses, and we are building connections with the owners So we already have some jobs with them, and we probably, I mean, it's the seed that is it's the seed that is making the platform with real opportunities. On the candidate side, we have multiple channels. Firstly, we are visiting colleges, training centers, and local communities.
Cool.
Secondly, we are posting on social media where everybody lives right now,
Oh yeah.
and and we are trying to create targeted ads to for a better outreach. And lastly, we are posting on Facebook community groups for to promote these job postings and also introduce the job seekers for a better way to showcase their skills and
Yeah.
personalities. So that way, we are not just focusing on one side, we are focusing on both sides simultaneously with real jobs and real candidates.
Yeah, and that's very cool. I mean, that you're hustling it, right? Like you
Yeah.
have to hustle and you have to build it, and then I think that part of it that is probably working behind the scenes that you don't know is, and that's the word of mouth. So
Yeah.
a lot of companies are connected with other companies and candidates know other candidates. And once they have a good experience and they kind of spread the word that way, yeah, I use HudQu and it really worked for me. But unfortunately, it's hard for you, I think, to know how often that's happening. But you know that it is, you know that that happens because that's how people work. But you just don't know. And so and those go a long way too. So that's very cool. So let me ask this question. So one of the like going back to the temp agencies because that's the main thing that the warehouses use right now or distribution centers use right now. One of the gripes that you sometimes hear from them is when I put my request into the temp agency for labor for candidates to come in and work here at this hourly entry level job. The temp agency is also taking requests from many other facilities. And we feel like at our facility, we have a great culture and we have all these differentiators and we're much better. But we don't feel like that the temp agencies are gonna let that go through when they give their presentation of why they should come work at our company versus one of the other 10 that they're working for. So do you offer any type of like when a company comes to use HoodQ, is there any type of branding profile that can go on there for the companies that looks cool and seems cool that can make candidates stop and go, oh wow, like that really pops. I like what they're doing there. I like all that as the differentiator, or is it just no, it's just a list of companies and it's mundane and here you go. See what you get type thing.
Yeah, that's what is making HudQu more exciting. So you've asked the
Yeah.
right question because employers here they can showcase their brand, their culture, and how candidates would want or how candidates would work there. Like they would get a preview of how things are working in that particular employer's location because like you already mentioned, unlike the temp agencies, there the company is just like a list on, I mean, it's just the
Yeah.
name on the list. But yeah, HudQu is making it. HudQu gives employers the control to represent themselves to the potential hires. I think, this makes them to stand out and
Yeah.
also build trust with the candidates. That's more important because otherwise they wouldn't feel like it's a legit job.
Yeah, and I think too, I think it's good. I mean, now it creates a little bit of a competition, I think, with the other companies because now they know that candidates are looking specifically at them, their stuff, like their branding. They're not just kind of talking to their temp agency. And so now you have to do good. I mean, you have to do good. You have to make it look good. You have to be appealing to the candidates as they're scrolling through. Like dare I say this, okay, dare I say this, very similar to dating, right? Like if you're
Yeah,
using
yeah,
a Tinder app and you're scrolling through that, he's
exactly.
ugly, he's ugly, he's ugly. Oh, he's okay. You know what I mean? That type thing. I would think that maybe people are doing the same thing with the companies, right? I mean,
Yeah.
is that fair? I mean, is that a bad analogy, or is that
No,
kind of
that's true.
close
That's
to
true.
how it operates?
Yeah, that's how I actually gave you an example, not an example. That's how I spoke to you about HudQu, saying that
Yeah,
it's a baby of LinkedIn and TikTok, because that's TikTok or maybe a dating app. That's how people are kind of scrolling through and then finding a job.
I love that. I mean, but does it work the other way too? I mean, does the candidate like, what if I'm a candidate and I'm using it? What can I do? Can I is it my face and my picture? Can I create a little video introducing myself? Is it just can I do upload like what are all the functionality on there that I can expect from me on the candidate side?
So on the candidate side, you can, for example, if you're a forklifter, you can put up a video you driving and stacking up all the cases.
Okay.
Or
That's
if you're
cool.
a barista, yeah, if you're a barista, you can make a latte art and put up a video. So you can put as many as videos you can, because most of them are not just doing one job, they might be doing a lot of jobs. So they might be a barista in the morning. In the evening, they might be working in a warehousing company. In the night, they might be a bartender. So you can upload as many as videos you want, like the skill videos, and simultaneously you can select the video for the role.
Yeah, I think that's cool. And two, it gives me a chance, I think, as the candidate to say in my own words to whoever's listening what I want them to know about me, which is important in the warehouse distribution center industry because sometimes different sites will call things different names. Like
Yeah.
I'm doing this job at this site and it's basically the same job at this other site, but they call it something different.
Yeah.
Right. So if I get a chance to, and sometimes that gets lost in translation and resumes and the temp agency doesn't know. But if I get a chance to hear it direct from that person, I'm like, okay, that's the person I want. Like what they said right there is exactly what I was looking for. And I know that, but a temp agency, because they don't work in warehousing, they don't know,
Yeah.
they don't know what that means. They don't know. But the person who's looking at it goes, that's exactly it. What
Yeah.
they just said right there, the skill they have or what they just showed is
Yeah.
exactly what I'm looking for. And I'm interested in them. I want to contact them. So very cool. I love that. Yeah, I
Thank
think that's awesome. So let me
Yeah.
ask this. So there's a concept out there, and this really kind of came up more during COVID,
Yep.
and that is the gig economy. Okay, so in the warehousing world, the gig economy came up because staffing was a big challenge during COVID, and people weren't always available to work full shifts. And warehouses everywhere would say, "I need more people. I need more people," and the temp agencies are not sending them to me. Uh, but the thing that arose out of that was people were available to work, but maybe they weren't available to work from 8 to 4 or whatever the scheduled hours were for that distribution center. And some places went in and they would bring in college kids on their off period and things like that that wanted to make money. And I know working moms was another one that gained popularity where the mamas say, I'm available from 9 to 1 while
Yeah.
my child is in school, and if you have an opening for me there, I would like to take that. And then companies are saying, "Yes, absolutely. Like we will take you for that 4-hour non-standard." So is that I mean, is I feel like HudQu is right there, right?
Yes.
Like I feel like it's right in that lane that is doing that, and there's more and more facilities that are going to that. Am I correct in that or no? Like what have you seen? Kind of what has been the feedback from your from the folks out there?
Yes, exactly. This is why HudQu was built, for this kind of flexibility, because not everyone, like you said, not everyone would want to do the traditional 9 to 5 jobs,
Yep.
or 9 to 5 jobs, or even like most of the businesses don't require like full day shifts either. So with HudQu, they can customize the time slots, maybe like 10 to 1 or 5 to 9, or
Yeah.
and even they can change it in real time. which makes it easy for the candidates, like you mentioned, moms, part-time workers or skilled laborers, gig workers, for them to take control and to choose where and when to work. Does that
Yeah.
answer the question?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's I think that that's going to be here to stay. So a lot of warehouse managers out there will give a little bit of pushback to that initially because no, I want my people to be there for 8 hours every day, 40 days a week, right? That's what I want. Well, they're not out there. They're not taking this job. They're taking some other job. So if HudQ's there, I mean, I just think that's just a great solution for facilities out there to say, I don't need all my staff at 8 in the morning, but I have this window from like 11 to 1 when all my consumer orders come in or however it works. And that's where I need extra horsepower just in that 3-hour window. And hey, I'm going to go to HudQ, right? Like I'm going to see who's available, who wants to come in. And I think that's perfect. But I mean, do you do the other two? I mean, do you have people that want 40-hour weeks and 9 to 5 jobs? Like what would you say that the mix is? Is most of your people kind of want that? Does most of them want the gig economy or is it just depends, right? I mean, it just depends on the
Yeah,
people.
it totally depends on the employer side because what role they are putting up. But we've seen combination of all of them, like full timers, part timers, and also gig workers. Like they just want to do workshops. For example, if that person is a flower arrangement instructor, she just wants to come for like weekly once or twice, something like that. So we've seen a lot of like combination of all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, very very cool. Very cool. So I like I said, man, I wish like this is gonna sound weird, but I wish that I would have had HudQu, like 4 years ago. Like, is that a like you're not paying me to say that, I promise, right? Like I wish I would have had something like this
Oh,
4 or 5 years ago when it was so hard to find candidates. I mean, it was so hard. I mean, you're just reaching out to the schools and all these different places and we were like running ads, putting ads in the paper and doing stuff at outreach at the schools. And because there wasn't really a tech like this that was fully sort of baked yet, like how HoodQ seems to be as it's coming online. So let me ask this question. Like you said that this is a little bit similar to LinkedIn,
yeah,
right? But I think one of the things that I think about that is that like LinkedIn, and this is kind of like a side before I ask the question. LinkedIn is like there are many hourly employees out there that work in warehouses across the country, and they're not on LinkedIn.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like maybe they are, and a lot of them are, but there are a lot others who aren't. And so sometimes people say, well, LinkedIn is all you need to find people, right? You just type in what you need and you can go find them. But it's not like 100% of the labor force is utilizing LinkedIn. And for a lot of people out there, eh, what I've heard from hourly employee level is they're like, it's too stuffy. You know what I mean? Like it's too stuffy and I gotta type in all this stuff and I don't wanna do all that, right? I just want it to be like how Tinder works for me, and that's where a HoodQ is. Not a sl I hope LinkedIn is like not like take me off their platform if they hear this, but it's just too stuffy, too complicated. It doesn't really feel like my vibe, and everything, but one of the cool things that LinkedIn does have is it has pretty good alert functionality. So if I set a search or search criteria or something like that, it can alert me when a certain job pops up that has the buzzwords that I'm typed in. So what about that? I mean, there's like something that HoodQ has is also have alert functionality, and then I kinda just answered the question that's on the there, I think, myself, but, in your mind, what makes HoodQ different from a platform like a LinkedIn or an Indeed in your own words, I guess?
Yeah. So HudQu is specifically for non-tech sector for because uh, personality, skills, vibe, and availability matter more than, like you already mentioned, the polished resumes
Yep.
or like formal cover letters. Unlike LinkedIn or Indeed, which is designed for mostly corporate and white collar jobs, right?
Yep.
So Hurku's experience matches um, how people currently are in the world. Like they are very quick and they want everything quick and visual. So, and the alert features that you said, that we have few filters where you can filter out which you can filter out as to what role you want or what time you want. And we're also coming up with notification. There's also no notifications for the employers and the candidates to get to know that this is the new job coming up, or this is the new uh, candidate who's ready to be hired. So, uh, yeah,
Yeah, I think that part of it's really cool because um it allows you to like I envision myself using this if I'm working in a company and in a warehouse and I hire. I envision sort of checking this every day
yeah,
type thing, where you just kinda check it every day and you see who is new, who is coming through, and yeah, I might not even necessarily be quote unquote "hiring" during that time,
yeah,
but if I see somebody pop through that I know is valuable, right? I know has the skills, I wanna jump on it versus I'm not gonna like, I don't log on to LinkedIn every day and search for warehouse employees, but if I had some type of functionality like this, I could totally see myself doing that,
yeah,
right? Like, "No, I'm not ready. I'm just kinda perusing. I'm just shopping. I'm just shopping. I'm not ready to buy."
yeah,
Oh, I thought I wasn't ready to buy, but I saw something that is an absolute perfect fit for me, so I'm gonna make it happen. So all the candidates, if you're candidates that are out there listening, that's
yeah,
probably how warehouse people are gonna end up using this.
yeah,
So, you know, even if a company's not hiring, still put your thing out there because they're gonna be scrolling through. So,
yeah. To add to that point, like you said, like you can upload as many as videos, like I already mentioned. So employers would be scrolling through videos, and even the candidates who are not looking for jobs, they can also see other videos. Like if I'm not looking for a
huh.
job, but I have uploaded videos, so another candidate can look at my videos and get inspired, saying, "Oh, this is nice, so I can try this out."
Ah,
So it's very
yeah,
similar to TikTok. So they can see many videos, like all the candidate videos, if the person
yeah.
makes it public account. So there's an option where you can make it a public account, or you can just keep it private. Where if it's a private account, only the employer sees the videos. But if it's public, all the candidates who are applying on Hurku can see the video.
I see, and I think that's another benefit to a candidate too, is you get a chance to see what other people are saying about themselves and doing and
Yep.
how they're presenting themselves, and so then you can kinda rank yourself or gauge yourself against that. Like, "Oh,
That's
you
yeah.
know, I really like the way they did that," or, "I like the way they presented that. I have that skill too, but I never thought to present it that way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that." Yeah, very cool. Yeah, very cool for somebody to use and look at. I'm always gauging where I rank against the other people out there that might wanna work
Yeah.
in a warehouse. So,
Yeah.
super cool. All right. So, final question. So, where can people find out more about you? I know. So, I know you have a website because I went to your website, and I know you have a YouTube page, and that's where I got the branding actually
Awesome.
up in the corner on the screen there. And there's some very cool videos on there, and I've
Yeah.
seen you do some very cool videos about HudQu. But where else? Like, where can people find you? And then what's some of the things that are exciting on the horizon and this year and maybe beyond? Where are you trying to take this?
Awesome. Yeah. So you can find us on all social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and of course on our website, which is hudqu.com, where we post job openings, success stories, tips and tricks, and also behind the scenes on how we are revolutionizing the job market. And the most exciting part, what is in store for 2025, is We are planning to enter into new non-tech sector, that is the automobile and childcare industry, where trust and personality is as important as skills. And we are on a mission to make HudQu the go-to app for job search, and not just job search. I mean, like to hire and to job hunt for better for effective and efficient in an effective and an efficient way. And
Okay.
we don't want people to just talk about HudQu. We want people to start using it, because it's not just an app. We are trying to revolutionize the traditional job search
Yeah.
process. Yeah. So we are there, like revolutionizing the everything here. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I love that. I mean, I think that it's cool, right? Like it's hip, modern, it's 2025. This is how real people talk. This is how real people interact. And no, I like it, right? I think you're onto something, and I wish you the best of success. Like I said, I wish I would have had it. I wish I would. Where were you? Where
Thank
were
you.
you back
Thank you.
then?
You made our day. Thank you so much.
You could have helped me back then. No, but I really appreciate it, and I'm excited for you and your organization. And thanks very much for coming on the podcast and chatting with me. I know it was your first podcast that you've ever done, so it's always a little bit different, but I appreciate it, and thank you very much. And I hope to see you again. I'm sure we will see each other again on the LinkedIn streets, as they say. That's
Yes.
where we're all hanging out at. Yeah. So thank you again.
Thank you so much for this opportunity once again. Thank you.
No, my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Oh, where did I go? All right, guys. So that concludes today's show. Thank you very much again for Spurti for coming on to talk about HudQu. It's a very cool startup, right? Like a very cool startup, a very cool service that they are providing, a very cool thing. I hope you guys check that out, and I hope they run wild with what they're doing. Very, very cool stuff. So, anyway, as the Warehouse Underground goes, like I always say, please sign up for the community if you have not done that. The community is an awesome place at the Warehouse Underground. Tons of great content in there, posting from myself and other members, trying to get as much interaction in there as we can, and look for some more live shows in the future. Check out the Tiger Team, which I tout the Tiger Team all the time. There's probably going to be a new episode coming out next week. More wit, humor, and sarcasm from life going on out there in warehouses and DCs and FCs across the globe. So if you haven't checked that show out, please do. I think you will like it. As this podcast goes, that concludes this one. Look for me next week for episode number 18. Take care, guys. Bye bye.